Do you want to pass your California DMV's knowledge test? Have you been taking it like 3 times already and then you feel like you don't want to take it anymore because you always fail? Now, in this video, I'm going to give you tips on how you can pass your California DMV's knowledge test. I'm going to give you 5 very important tips that you can use for you to pass the dreaded DMV knowledge test. So guys, don't forget to click like this video, also click subscribe and hit that bell button. This is GeoTube. A few days ago, I took the virtual knowledge test and I passed it right away. So this is like a follow-up video from that one because a lot of people are asking me questions about how to pass the knowledge test and all. So I'm going to give you, again, as mentioned, I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can do that. But before I'm going to give you those 5 tips, there is just one very important thing that you should do. So before anything else, here's one thing that you should do. Go to the link provided below, and this is the practice test. Take the test right away, and then let's see what your score is. Why am I letting you do this? Well, it's because this was what I did. Before I read the handbook, before I visited a lot of sites about the California Driving Handbook, I took a lot of practice tests. Why? I want to gauge myself because I thought that I already knew the traffic rules or the rules of the road. So after taking those practice tests, well, the scores were not really that good, as expected, because, I just thought that, I know some stuff. So this is what you should consider in mind, that you should try to humble yourself, because a lot of people are saying that, oh, I know this, I know that, I don't have to read it. Well, you'll be surprised if you will read the handbook. All right, so after doing the practice test, all right, so you go to step 1, and that is visit California DMV's website. That is dmv.ca.gov. Or you can just simply Google California DMV Handbook PDF file, and then you will find the result from there and download it. Another way of finding the California DMV Handbook is by downloading DMV's app. Okay, there's an app there, and on that app you can see a lot of things there. It's very interactive. You can find a lot of practice tests there as well. I want you to bear in mind that you are learning the rules of the road by heart, that you are not studying the California DMV's handbook just for the sake of taking the exam. You are studying that handbook from cover to cover for your own good. Of course, you are applying for a driver's license, so that means you will be driving for a long time. So you will be using your car most of the time. And for me, learning doesn't stop after taking the exam. Learning is continuous. So you should always, consider learning every day. So with this handbook, you will learn so much. I was surprised because, I must admit that I didn't have a lot of knowledge about the rules of the road when I came here in the US, because there's just a lot of things that I didn't know. So when I read the handbook, I was surprised myself. And then I was like, oh, that is why we have that sign. Oh, that is why they're doing this and doing that. So you'll be surprised. So humble yourself. Don't be too proud of yourself that I know you know some stuff, but always bear in mind that you are reading the handbook by heart, okay? And that you are learning it, and that you are studying the handbook not just for the sake of the exam, but you are learning it by heart. Learning is continuous. It doesn't stop after taking the exam. Tip number 2, take as many practice tests as much as you can. There are a lot of practice tests on YouTube. You can find a lot of those. Just type in there DMV practice test or DMV actual test, although they're not really the actual test, but more or less they are the same. There are also sites that offer practice tests that for me, they are really like the actual test, and you will find those links below. Click on those links that I am providing and just practice. Tip number 3. After reading the handbook from cover to cover, after doing a lot of practice tests, take the exam, the actual exam, right away. Don't wait for a few days. Don't wait for a month. After, like, your mind is still, fresh from everything, and then you have retained a lot of memory about the rules of the road, take the exam right away. If you can take it the day after, okay, do it. And of course, I have created a video about taking the exam online. Just click on the link provided below. I suggest that you take the exam online. You just take the exam from home. I believe it is much more comfortable, of course, and it's not as nerve-wracking as going to the office itself, and then you will find other people taking the exam there. So, as mentioned, I have created a video about it, so just click on the link provided and you will know how to register your exam online. And while you are taking the exam, and this is tip number 4, just relax. Okay, it may just be an online exam. You may say that, okay, this is just an online exam, it's easy. Well, sometimes you can get nervous, and I just want you to relax. And also, while you are taking the exam online, I mentioned that on my previous video, there is a camera fixed on your face. You can't do anything. You can't even just, if you can't cheat while doing the online test. Your face has to be directed on the camera. You can't, go face to face from left to right. Just relax and be confident. I know by that time you're confident because you have been reading the handbook from cover to cover. In my case, when I took the exam online, I wasn't really scared anymore. I wasn't nervous, but I was excited. I was excited to finish the whole exam because I was breezing right through the exam, and I wasn't really confused about, I made 3 mistakes. Well, 3 mistakes? It's okay because you are allowed to make, I think, 8 mistakes. I was really confident while I was taking the exam because I was reading the handbook from cover to cover, and then while I was reading the questions, I know the answers already. So I was just so relaxed, and that is one tip. Again, that's tip number 4. Relax while you are taking the exam. Don't be in a hurry because you are given 7 minutes for each item. So you have a lot of time to think. So don't be in a hurry. Always rely on the knowledge that you have learned while reading the handbook from cover to cover, and I'm sure you will get the right answer. Tip number 5. This is in case you fail. Okay, if you fail the first take, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. You can take the exam again. All right? You can take the exam right away because it's only 3 times. You are allowed to fail 3 times. Now, just in case you fail, study the handbook again. Study from cover to cover. I know it's disheartening that, you still fail the exam in spite of studying the handbook from cover to cover, but this is tip number 5. Don't lose hope. Be positive. All right? Don't lose hope. Be positive. That is tip number 5. If you failed on the first take, study again. Study the handbook from cover to cover. You have nothing to lose. If you will study again, you will gain a lot. I believe that in life, if you learn everything by heart, you'll become really confident about it. So if you apply that value, if you study the handbook, if you apply that value that, you want to learn about the rules of the road by heart, and also you were doing a lot of practice tests, I believe, I can guarantee you that you will eventually pass the exam. So I just wish that you will study. That is the most important thing. That is why that is tip number 1. Okay, I'm going to mention again those 5 tips, all right? So tip number 1, download the handbook. Read the handbook from cover to cover. Tip number 2, take a lot of practice tests, as much as you can. Tip number 3, take the exam right away. Number 4, you are given 7 minutes to take the exam. Relax. Don't be in a hurry. And tip number 5, if in case you fail, don't lose hope. Be positive and claim it. Alright, that's all for now. I hope that this video has helped you in some ways, and good luck on your knowledge test and to your driving test, which will happen to me soon because I'm going to take the driving test. And I'm going to give you an update about the result of my driving test too. And a while back, I just finished my driving lesson with a very good teacher, and I will write down the link where you can reach him and contact him if you want to study driving, so you can study with him. And yes, stay tuned for more updates about my journey to get my driver's license here in California. And guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for watching this video. And guys, give this video a thumbs up if you like this one. If you don't like it, well, give it a thumbs down. I hope you don't. But do click subscribe on my channel and also hit that bell button. This is GeoTube.